Barry Michael was very keen to go on with it.
Barry Michael had predicted victory in the middle rounds, and as soon as they arrived, the realisation that he might come to own the fight began to dawn on the partisan crowd.
After I got over the third round where he had me badly shaken, I was back on track and I was getting stronger and providing I didn't get caught again like I did in the third, I really felt the tide start to turn.
Well, it's amazing what an old experienced fighter like Michael can do. He can turn that thing around and put it his way.
It was during the middle rounds, 7 to 11, that the fighter with the most stomach for the inevitable grind ahead would come to the fore. This was to be one of the last 15-rounders ever fought, and the end of a great era in boxing. It had been agreed by authorities that the championship rounds, 13 to 15, were too dangerous. It was during those rounds that the most damage was done to the two fighters. There was no doubt that in these middle rounds, the Sunshine Kid seemed to shrink slightly. He slowed just a little, conceding that he'd need to preserve some juice if he was to take Barry all the way.
Well, if you fought 7.5 or 8 rounds at top physical effort, you're going to run down on your juices a bit. But a fit fighter, a fighter that's trained correctly, should be able to go the next 8 rounds as hard almost as he did the previous 8 rounds. A fit fighter, a thinking fighter that works his way through the fight.
At filling moments, Lester would slumber a little, telegraphing punches from a distance. Blood poured from a deep crescent slice under his right eye. And from his corner, Dana Goodson began to shout his frustration.
Dana was a bit erratic, screaming at me, "Come on, champ, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong, load up." So Dana's idea and Keith's idea were both entirely different. Dana wanted me to back him up and knock him out. Keith wanted me to go to work, get the points, win the fight. Lester was starting to panic, and I knew there was 9 rounds to go, and I knew that the last 6 would be Barry's best rounds. So we had to change our ideas, and we were starting to slip.
Tremendous.
But just as he looked like fading, Lester took the 8th round with a hammering right hand. The fight was even.
I wasn't actually thinking about combinations, I was actually thinking about loaded bombs. Where away from him coming, Barry's style was pretty predictable. You know he's going to come and beat it all the time. You know he's on his chest. I just planted my feet, bent my legs, bummed me out, nice and relaxed, loading up loaded shots. Left hook, left uppercut, right hand, whatever it was.
I have great admiration for Barry Michael. To come back at the age of 30 and fight a 20-year-old champion who's as strong as fit as this, it's remarkable.
Up until the 10th round, I had no intention of changing my style. I just keep saying, move around, box, enjoy yourself, now get the points. I wasn't happy with that. I would not have been happy with the points victory. I wanted a clear knockout. So I won clearly. Everyone knew that I was the best. But by the time I got to the 10th, I knew I had a bit of a problem there. He's still there. I think he did everything. His ears hanging off, his nose is hanging off. I couldn't drop him.
I really felt the tide start to turn, and I kept telling Lester I was beating him, and I could feel him psychologically diminishing, even though he still threw bombs and with class and speed.
The crowd, sensing their champion's triumph, chanted Lester's name. It seemed to spur him on.
I think Barry had slowed him down with the tactics and just kept him close and just worked away and just round after round, clinch after clinch, kidney punch after kidney punch. Barry was getting more and more injured, but I think he could have walked through 3 people with baseball bats that night.
Now the big question mark over him was whether losing those few kilos might take it out of him if it came to this sort of crunch into the championship round. But he looked confident that that's not going
the 12th round, a searing right hand smashed Barry's nose. Suddenly Ellis was back with a chance.
At the end of the 12th round, I came back to the corner and Joe Bugner, the commentator, had picked up that my nose had been busted because the blood was just streaming straight out of my nose, straight down my mouth and ripping off my chin. But at the end of the 12th, I came back and I said, he's broken my nose. And my trainer, Ray Stiles, said, they get it, 3 rounds and you're champion of the world. You're in front, 3 rounds and you're champion of the world. I was looking for sympathy. I said, but he's broken my nose. You know, it had never been busted before in 56 fights.
Yes. I think both boxers realised that these 3 rounds could decide on the last 3 because there's very little at this stage.
There's always been a lot said about how the fact that Lester should have boxed me instead of standing toe-to-toe with me. But in reality, Lester wasn't a boxer. He was a fighter, and that was the way he fought. And it wouldn't have made any difference, I really don't believe, to the pattern of the fight, because I made Lester, with my experience, fight my fight. And that was the end of the story as far as I'm concerned.
100% I believe in Mom. I've told over this also. He laughed, but I told him, I said, if you would have been someone that I've never known, someone I had no respect for, just from another country, another war contender, and those times I heard you and I rocked you, I would have jumped onto you and walked you straight out of there.
The final round could have been the last minute of Lester Ellis' reign.
Well, it could be.
It looks like it at this stage because Michael is the one that's putting all the pressure on.
Approaching the end of the contest. The end of this I.B.F. World Junior Lightweight title fight. And Barry Michael.
I must say to you, I have to applaud them both. I have to applaud them.
Embracing, and that's good to see. And now it's up to the judges. And it's going to be very interesting indeed. Well, you thought Barry Michael.
At the end of a fight that's that brutal and that hard, especially against a mate and someone that you know, sort of nurtured and trained and taught, you know, it was a warm embrace, and I was, you know, proud of Lester. I was really proud of him the way he fought. And I said, even before the decision was announced, I said, you're a great fighter, and, you know, thank you, you know, thanks for giving me the shot.
Here's the judging.
Judge John Wheeler gives it Ellis 1-4-0, Michael 1-4-7.
That's 2. He's won it.
Barry Michael
Two of the judges won it.
The final world, the I.B.F. champion, Barry Michael.
I had a busted nose. I passed blood for the first time I'd ever after, you know, it was my 56th professional fight. I was ecstatic, and my left ear was full of blood like you wouldn't believe. You only had to touch it, it was very painful. But it was just, I always celebrated after a big victory, and we went out, we had a big function at a Chinese restaurant, and then I went home and I went to sleep and only slept for a few hours, woke up and realised I won the world title. It was like, it took a while to really sink in, and then went out and started partying again. So, and did that for weeks, basically. It was just, it was like the dream of a lifetime. And I partied hard for a long time.
Well, it's very important for Lester to get into his mind now that losing is not shameful. To lose is to make you that much better the next time.
All the people that normally come running to the change rooms to take me home, we're going to have a party somewhere, I'd say no, but I say my dad, Keith and even my girlfriend shot free somewhere. So I learned from that fight, but I learned the hard way. I mean, I went home and I was hurting pretty bad, you know.
To lose your world championship in front of your friends and your family can be a tremendous blow. Psychologically, you just got beat in front of everybody. In front of everybody, your mother, your father, your kids, your friends, your girlfriends, your mistresses, also you got beat in front of all these people. How in the hell are you supposed to feel?